Here we are with the May achievement of the week and month achievements. There is a labeling issue that happened. I for some reason really thought there was 5 achievements, but in reality there was 4. Ignore that. It's just a part of the process as I shifted over to, I think, a cleaner uh, exterior. But I did not get to do 2 of the weeks in May. I'll catch them up. I'm kind of running out of actual room for that, but ignoring that, I will get them. I have played the games before. Uh, the problem is I literally got hit by a car, so that's legit. Kind of the restriction on that one, but so when it comes down to it, these early ones we're gonna place. I do think one of the achievements is really kind of lame. For the game itself is pretty good, but we'll talk about it. So uh, let's move right into it. So this one is Summon Night, Swordcraft Story, which is a pretty interesting action RPG for the GBA. It's Atlas. Ooh, we know what that means, but it has a lot of like crafting and it's focusing on that type of stuff, accessories such as that. Overall, it's a nice play, but the second day is not that far into the game, and I feel like it doesn't like highlight the coolest aspects of the game, uh, which is what this achievement is for. That's not to say I disagree having the second day be it for a week, because it is a little bit of a longer game, but it feels a little short. I would have liked maybe a little bit deeper. But it is a game that doesn't get highlighted that much. So I want to say overall, there's a lot of gray. I need to actually replace the ones I've done. By the way, that is important. I kind of want to put it in top C, which is just stacking these at this point. But it is like kind of a nice little game that has been like added to the register for achievement of the week. So I kind of want to put that. But yeah, overall, not a fantastic achievement. Next, we go into actually a really interesting game if you've never played it. It's Disaster Report. Disaster Report is very interesting, very buggy as well. But I didn't even know I could label that. It has a lot of achievements that I think are interesting. Uh, I feel like the achievement of the week was really short for this, and if I legit wasn't so out of it, it would have been quick. But the game itself is interesting. It's part of me wants to like give it a pretty high thing because the game, and I'll probably give it a little higher than Flintstones, just a little bit. Disaster Report is a good game, and the achievement itself, while being because it's only meet the freelance photographer, which is not at the end of the game, but it is or not the end of the little section. It is kind of in the 75% area, I would say, of the section. Overall, it's not that long, um, but overall the game itself is interesting. We'll call it there. I'm struggling to rank this because I don't know, maybe when I go back and play it, I'll think it's terrible. We do have some updates. We are going to change this tier list a little bit, but let's get into the proper one. We have I can't believe this game actually. Magic Knight Rayearth, which is based on the an anime or manga, sorry, a manga that apparently involves like teenage girls getting like magical powers, which is on point for back in the day. This is on the SNES, but it's a turn-based RPG that is very easy, and it's just kind of boring. I honestly will probably put this like pretty far down. Uh, it's like not as bad as these 3 in my opinion, where this is just terrible for achievement of the month, and these 2 are just bad games or wastes of time or boring. But it's almost there. It is almost to D tier. Um, Next, we had a change out for the next achievement, which was originally supposed to be for the Incredibles, but there was something wrong with the achievement, and we get a collect 10 stars in the hack of Super Mario 74. I think the hack is just more Mario 64. I'm not a big fan of it. It's really easy for this one, but at the same time, I don't think it's fantastic. I think if achievement of the week, as I've talked about before, one of my favorite parts about it is exploring games that you just don't know about. Like we talked about Polaroid Pete and so on and so forth, but I do think as we go along that this hack, like, yeah, it may be popular to a lot of people, but if you're not in a Mario 64, having this type of hack is really, really stupid. Uh, it's cool to see it, but there's a bunch of other Mario hacks that I think do a better job at showcasing a lot of the mechanics that would be much more fulfilling of a slot. Uh, that's not to say I found it inherently bad. It's just gonna barely escape D tier. It's barely because it was so quick. Uh, that's also kind of a negative in itself, but like overall, it's still Mario 64. Just hack woo. But ignoring that, we have the achievement of the month, which is actually Sly Cooper, the Thievius Raccoon, which is beating the game. Which I need to go back and master it. I missed like 3 achievements or something. No, I have to do the thief sprints, but going back and to Sly Cooper was really fun. The last time I played Sly Cooper, and I don't think I finished it, was probably around like 2010. Um, I don't remember when it came out, but I didn't get the game until PS3 was long in the middle of its life cycle. I don't really think it plays as well as I remember in some stuff. It's definitely one of those games that I think is aged poorly. Some of the levels I do think are really, really meh. But and some of the bosses, specifically the rhythm one, can die, especially hitless, because the input delay is terrible. And I found it's not the emulator because I actually went and loaded up my PS2 and dumped the save file to see if it was just the emulator or what. No, it is just that fight with the alligator. Oh my gosh, that rhythm is for death, which doesn't really matter for this achievement. I'm getting off topic, but I do want to say that this is probably a high B. I'd probably actually put it pretty much on the cusp of A, which, yeah, it may be a little too high. We're actually getting off the screen now with that one, but ignoring that, we also have some updates I want to do because as we've kind of put into achievement of the week, I've kind of realized like some games have gotten better, and we're gonna be changing stuff around. This is only the 5th, so this is gonna be the final update for these. The reason this update is happening is because when we start, we don't really know our baseline, like what's a good game, what's a bad game, and so we're gonna kind of go up and down as time goes on. I mean, like, is it really fair to compare like the quality of this game versus like the achieve like overall it's better if we update now. So we are gonna fully explore sorry, I went up, but we're gonna fully explore updating these. So we're gonna actually move Hexen down. And I'm sorry, I realized that the labels have been cut off for some reason. I don't know how to. That'll be next time. I'll update for next time. But ignoring that, you should be able to know that this is S right here, A, B, C, and D. Same as before, just new color scheme. Hexen's gonna move down because I ultimately don't think it explores enough of the game. And while Hexen is a good game, I stand by that, I don't think it fully is an interesting achievement. We love Katamari. I'm still gonna leave down. We are gonna probably leave it there. The racing game, I'm thinking we're gonna move down, and Penny the Pawn is actually gonna move down because while I do think it is important, I don't think it's as interesting. I do think Kirby's gonna move up, probably to here. This is gonna move down. This is what was it, Mario and Donkey Kong, the puzzle game. Sorry, I'm forgetting the name. I know. Oh man, what was the name? March of the Minis. There we go. I legit had to go over there. But March of the Minis is gonna move down. I do think is a pretty low quality achievement. looking back on it. I know this was done in March and we should have figured it, but I was giving too much credit. Pokemon Emerald, I do think probably deserves to be down a bit, but it just happens to be that there's a really awkward space here where in reality we probably need another tier, but we're going to leave it as is because like from here to here really feels worse than up here, in my opinion. Next, we're going to change a few of these, and I'm gonna raise Donald Duck to probably right after Flintstones. This was a very early game, and I was really harsh on it. This was Magical Quest starring Mickey and Donald, and it's kind of unfair. For the GBA version isn't as good as the SNES version, as I've recently learned, but at the same time, I was really harsh on it because I had a bad time in the final boss. I just didn't understand it, and that's mostly on me. And so, being fair, we're gonna boost it up a bit. I'm actually very tempted to lower this down because this is just get to like World 4, which is the same. You know what? Yeah, just because it's a better game doesn't mean shit. And Flintstones, I really thought about lowering Flintstones, but I actually think it's fine where it's at. It's a very neutral game, so I think it's fine in the middle. And I don't think anything moves up into A, so Polaroid Pete gets to stand at A. We are going to hold these hostage, even though technically this is one of the best games on the list in Metal Gear, but it just overall the achievement didn't really work out. And I think that's it. I think that's the only update, or is there one more I wanted? That's for next week, next month. Yeah, okay. So I think that's it for... Oh, actually, I want to... It's not going to change tiers, but looking back on it, I'm actually giving Action Man Robot Attack GBA, the very first game we talked about, we are going to move this up into almost breaking out of C. I'd probably give more credit to Final Fantasy VIII. I don't think Final Fantasy VIII that's great, but that moves up, and then... Yeah, I think that's it. Killer 7 stays where... we'll move that. But yeah, that's the new tier list. I know it's shaken up a bit, and technically it's gotten a lot lower, but at the same time, I feel like it's much more honest of the quality. Pokemon Emerald is probably the one I will be changing my mind at some point, but I don't really know where to play it because I love the game, but it's not perfect of an idea or even relevant to everything at the same time. But yeah, that's it for right now. This is the May. We will be going the May. This is the May Achievement of the Week / month tier list. It's shaken up quite a bit, and we will be going into June with high hopes. We're already, we're almost done with June, but I will say that I don't want to say we have a great cast of achievements, but we do seem to have a decent setup. I will say that. One of them is going to be really low just because of how easy it is. But ignoring that, have a good one, and hopefully, I'll see you guys for the next one.